Where was I, Lila?
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is TRIAD, and TRIAD doesn't have a membership list or dues or anything like that. We just like to get together. We like to learn things. You can see we've got all ages here. We love the kids coming because they ask really great questions. And so it's kind of fun for us to do. Let's see, I want to thank the people who've been putting up their flyers. If you get to see, we've got a book back there of 6 years of flyers. We think we're really funny because it's a wanted poster, and then, so I'll have to get a picture of a couple of you guys afterwards, and it's been really fun. The department prints them for us, and this time we've been putting up about 40. They are in demand as collector's items now, and so they are being put up from Northfield area to Redmond. This is cool. John Colbert, Lauren Evinrude, and I and Joy Sheets have been putting them up this time. If you know of any place you want to put up a wanted poster, let us know so we get it up. Dick Mensing is with our cable TV, and like I was mentioning, this is one reason we can help people with the speakers because we don't pay them. We take them out for lunch at the Country Kitchen afterwards, and you are all invited to on your own dime, you know, it's really cool. But it takes a lot for a speaker to drive to Cannon Falls, to present himself and all that, and we really appreciate it. Their whole point is that they want to get their message out. And I said this to some government officials too, and whatever I may say about government officials sometimes, some of them really care about their jobs. Joyce, I fell in love with her former boss. I wanted to adopt him, the Minnesota Commissioner of Commerce. We had him last week. He was just darling. Anyway, we do get donations, and we are going to have a state conference for TRIAD. We're going to have it at the Treasure Island Resort, not casino. Yeah. Resort and casino. I know their commercials so well. So we are collecting funds for that. Donation requests are going out. Lauren Evinrude and John Hobart have been in charge of those letters and things like that. Tom Wolner, our deputy back there, has really been organizing this whole thing. I have almost forgiven him for volunteering our county to have the state convention here, and because he's worked so hard on it. So if anybody would like to help us with some of the stuff, it's going to be a really fun deal. We've got speakers all lined up September 23rd to the 25th. Really cool. We just got our 501c3. Let me. Yeah. Is the pamphlet there? Where is it? I've got it up here. Send that back or I'll lose it all. Just got this. Jim Burkhardt, a lawyer in town, did this pro bono. It was it's a complicated thing to get a 501c3. We haven't needed that. That means that if we give donations that you will get tax exempt. Or we're tax exempt, so you'll get your donations recorded, whatever you want to do with that. But we're now waiting for the CPA to run through it, and that might cost us quite a bit. But anyways, then we'll be all legal and everything like that. It's really kind of cool to have that done. Otherwise, we've usually just gotten donations of $20 or $50 or something, or the Vesa Lutheran Church Endowment Fund has given us a couple $100 a couple times. The Goodhue County Electric Co-op has given us funds to $100 each time. This last time was for the conference directly. So we really appreciate those things. Treasurer, we did have to get a treasurer since we were going to have this conference and we were getting funds. Ray, I thought you snuck out on me.
As of now, we got $927.98 in our kitty, but $670 are earmarked for our convention. And I just got a $50 donation from Mary Yervik here last month for the convention, and I have sent her a thank you card. So that's where we're sitting right now, but it looks awful big, but it isn't very big with this convention coming up.
Yeah, this is quite an expensive thing. Tom, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. You opened your mouth and you.
Why is-
It's the teacher in me. We are meeting March 25th at King's Bar and Grill in Meesville as the statewide officers of TRIAD are coming down to meet, and then we'll do a run-through of Treasure Island to see where we'll be located and where the vendors will be and all this good stuff. Anybody who wants to come along will contact me, and you're all invited, I would think, to go to that meeting. And just
What time is that meeting, Rose?
10 o'clock,
Yep.
March 25th. That's a Friday? No, it's not,
Wednesday.
it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, what I wanted to talk about now is a couple of things that TRIAD can really help with. So it's about a week later that it's 8:30 at night, it's all dark. She's in the back of the house, and someone is knocking at the front door. And it's a man in a business suit with a briefcase. And so she goes to the door, opens it up, and fortunate for her, you've got another door there. Some of our houses, we open the door and you're right in. But she had that, and he said he had a life insurance policy for her. It was not true, we don't believe, okay. You did shut the door and you called the police. I mean, because you did discuss this with him for a little bit, which maybe we would rather you didn't, just shut the door and, the local police were out there very quickly. He had left by that time. What is so nice for us that we have police that value knowing, getting this knowledge, because it'll happen to other people. Excuse me, do you guys have, this is our local Cannon Falls Police Department and the Sheriff's Department back here. Do you have anything else that you would advise?
Well, I mean, we all try to be people who are, welcoming to visitors and like to think that everybody's okay, but obviously in, this circumstance, there was something fishy going on here and just wasn't adding up. Everybody's natural instinct is to open a door when somebody knocks on it, rings their door. I mean, your doorbell's there so you come to answer the door. As soon as you think that something might be up with this, call the police department, which was done. Then we'll come see what exactly is going on. Maybe this guy did purchase the permit to solicit and is supposed to be out on the streets doing what he was doing. Maybe not. It's not the easiest thing reading through their stories, but as soon as something's fishy, especially if it's nothing that you have been expecting, then it's probably just like the internet scams, the phone scams that we talked about not too long ago, it's probably not real. And that's when you just call us.
What I would like, oh, Tom?
Well, I was just gonna add what Trevor's saying, there are plenty of people out there who prey on Minnesota nice. For us, don't be afraid to call. If you're not sure if you should call us, just call. We have a lot more fun coming out and catching the Billy Burglar or Billy Bad Guy. And if it's just something innocent and a misunderstanding, 99% of the people are, oh, I get it. Hey, I'm sorry if I freaked them out. So definitely give us a call. So we're a bunch of racehorses waiting for that gate to drop so we can go. That's the easiest way to put it. I mean, we get paid to play, so let us play. We want to do this.
Yeah, the T-shirt I got from the Sheriff's Department after doing the Citizens Academy was, "We play hide and seek." I had an incident. I was an investigative reporter, and the man I was writing up could have been dangerous. I'd been warned. So I'm home all alone in the country, and the window in my son's bedroom was blasted out. And I thought, oh my, that he shot the windows out. And so I called someone who lives a mile away, and I said, don't come, because if this is real, it's dangerous. And, but I want somebody to know what I'm doing. I said, I'm going down there to see what's wrong. This is stupid. I should have gotten out of the house. But anyways, we don't always do it so smart. The thing is, she also didn't obey me, and she came down. She drove down. But the thing is, when I went down, I had somebody on the phone who could get me help if I needed it. What had happened was, I heard something then ticking under my son's bed in the bedroom, and I thought, oh my gosh, he didn't just blow out the window, he threw in a bomb. I do get very dramatic, okay, under pressure. And I snuck in and found it. It was a cock pheasant who had blown through the window, was hiding under the bed, and when they're scared, they go. So that was kind of cool once we found out what it was.
Did you eat them? Did you eat them?
No, I let him go. I'm wishy-washy with criminals, right? Okay, but we do, what I'm saying is that if we can plan ahead, so you know somebody that you can be talking to if they don't have access. Okay, because the sheriff's department might take a while to get out there. Last night at the township annual meeting, a couple men were talking about this. They brought this up. Someone was at their house at 8:30 at night a couple nights ago selling meat. Now, we've had fish salesmen and meat salesmen out of their truck, you know, and they just felt that that wasn't appropriate at 8:30 at night. It was dark out and everything, so they wouldn't do anything with them. Well, it's another concern too, so either just let somebody know on the phone, but you don't have to welcome them.
I'll just add, you know, with the meat sales and stuff of that nature, some of these companies, not all, some of these companies that are running around, the FDA regulates everything they do. They're required to have refrigeration in their vehicle, it's required to be X amount of degrees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there, about 5 years ago, there was a company that was coming out of North Dakota. And I'm sure they had decent meat when it left North Dakota, but what they were finding when these trucks were running around Minnesota, they had coolers with melted ice or no ice, or so the meat wasn't being stored properly. And that was just one limited company. And when they'd come into the town here, the towns, they'd tell the people, oh, I have a permit, and they don't. So we'd talk to them, and I can remember one that I dealt with in Pine Island. He was confrontational with me, which, that's genius, smart enough to a cop, you know. But what he did, when I asked him for his peddler's permit, he handed me a copy of a copy, and you know how copies deteriorate? This had been copied so many times. You know, it was some kind of licensing for the state of Minnesota, but I couldn't make out what it was. After talking to him and him trying to explain to me that he's legitimate, I casually gave him a ticket for no driver's license, no insurance, and the peddler permit. And then he got mad at me because I ticketed him for the peddler permit. You can't make it up, so they may be legit. This is a time of year where stuff like that's gonna start coming out more. So anytime you see anything suspicious, just scratch your head, give us a call, and let us come out and play.
I just want to kind of come back to your window being blown out by the pheasant. Having somebody that you can be talking to help is good, but one of my concerns, just my first thoughts that were kind of rolling through my head were, our dispatch is great help because they give the information to us. Because when I'm going to a call, you can guarantee my microphone's in my head, so I can ask dispatch a question that pops into my head when I'm going. And if you're tied up on the phone with somebody else, that can cause issues where.
Good point.
I mean, it's having a neighbor that you can rely on, saying, "Hey, this is kind of what's going on. Just be there to help me." I guess, in my opinion, the better point would be to call 911 and just sit there and talk to our dispatchers. Because that way you can answer our questions.
Makes sense.
If you're too afraid to talk,
Oh.
once you get that dial tone, dial 911, put the phone down and go hide. We come just as fast.
Come
If there's an
faster.
open, or faster, yeah.
But then how do you get in then?
I wear a size 11 door kicker. No, I was joking. But, yeah, I have a size 11 door kicker, but, no, it all depends on the circumstances. If there is somebody there, when we get there, we're gonna find them. Otherwise, when you hear us knocking on the door, if you can get back to the phone, dispatch will tell you, hey, our deputies are right outside. Say, they can hear everything on the radio, plus with our car computers, they see exactly where we are. They know. So they know we're in your driveway, or, you know, sometimes we'll black out on the end of the driveway and walk in, so they know we're there. So they can help out that way.
This is so cool. I really appreciate this, thanks.
This weekend there was an open line where somebody had dialed 911 but wasn't talking, and the dispatch was able to pinpoint it to the exact area in the woods where this phone was, and the deputies found it.
They use the GPS rather than the cell phone tower?
Yep, they use the cell phone towers to locate that phone.
Well, they can do both. They can, they're, with the E911 system, y'all understand the 911 system, it's kept advancing, and now the E911 is like a third or fourth generation in. Originally, it started with triangulating the cell phone signal. They were accurate within 100 yards or so. The enhanced 911 services is using the GPS on your phone. Even if you turn off the GPS, when you dial 911, it gives a GPS location. We just can't track the phone as easily through other channels, or other means, for other reasoning. So what happens is it's usually accurate within about 10 yards now.
So if Rosie's under her bed out in the country, you're gonna find it, right?
Pretty much, pretty much. If you don't have cell service, we have a harder time finding you. But with, one of the things you can do if you can't get out on a phone call, text somebody. The data is a little bit different on a text message than cellular phone calls. You can get out on a text message more often when you can't get out on a phone call. So you can at least text somebody. And that's why some of the new 911, which we haven't got to yet, they're starting to take texting 911 capabilities. So they're starting to do that. And I'm sure at some point they're gonna have a data bit in there with GPS location too. So we'll be able to track it, but that's probably down the road, not yet.
That's great. Also, Tom, do you have anything about the Citizens Academy, the Sheriff's Citizens Academy? Everybody's invited to,
Yes.
several of us have been through it. It's really cool.
You'd have to go to either the county Facebook page or the county web page. I know the application deadline's coming up here, and I can't remember when it is. If you wanna go through the Citizens Academy, I would highly recommend it. It's, you meet once a week for 4 hours, and then at the end of it, you get to do a ride-along with anybody you want, one of the deputies, or you could do a day shift ride or a night shift ride, so.
I also got to shoot an AK-47 assault rifle, I think it was. So that's cool. Okay. Another topic we're looking into is going to Flint Hills, which is up by Rosemont, and there we'll be able to watch a scenario of people having to, law enforcement officers having to go into houses and have dog training and all this sort of stuff. But they're looking into it now. I have about 6 people signed up so far. So it might be this summer or towards the fall. They're waiting because they want to get permission from whoever is doing the training and all that too. So that'd be a fun experience for us. Let's see. Next. Oh, great, you brought them. From the Beat. This is such a cool newsletter that the police put out every week. And it gives you just a smidgen of what's really going on. And there's always something funny at the end of it. But it gives you an idea of what folks are getting involved in around here. Appreciate that. Our next speakers in April. You are signaling to me.
No, keep going.
Keep going, really. You're telling me to keep talking. Yes! Okay. In April, we're having the Rochester Police Department, because they have a triad group down there. They have even a website that's called, I think, something like Cop Talk or something. And in there, you can actually see, like the big department stores or consignment, whatever. They've got their video cameras, and if you walk out without paying, your picture is then put on the internet.
So Rochester Crime Stoppers is what you could search to find that page.
Thank you. Then, let's see, in May, we're having the Jacob Wetterling Foundation. They're coming to talk, this is the 25th year, if I have that correct, on the program. And you remember the child, Jacob Wetterling, who disappeared. Okay, that should be really awesome. What is nice here is that they have a request of a $250 donation. And I've already explained to you how we don't do that. And so I explained to them, do you have any volunteer who could come out or anything like that, who lives near here? And somebody in the foundation, and they have donors, who's going to cover the cost for TRIAD here. So they're gonna come out, and that will be in May. I do have a guest too. I wanted you to introduce yourself, because this time, well, we're concerned because we're gonna be losing the kids this summer. We love having the kids come to our sessions here. And next year they'll be in Red Wing, and maybe they'll be able to come over sometime, but not regularly like now. So I asked Jennifer Cook, who is she's got every contact in the world. And so could you explain who you are and who you're representing?
I'm Brandy Callahan. I'm a licensed social worker at Three Rivers Community Action. We are a CAP agency. My specific role is helping seniors and families. I'm a senior advocate. Carla Pearson actually oversees the Cannon Falls community. She does the home delivered meals here for this community. But she couldn't make it, so I just said I'd come and kind of give her a synapse of what was happening. I think she's been to prior meetings, but yeah, so I do all the rest of Goodhue County and Watershed County. So.
Appreciate that.